Hello everyone and welcome back to another video. So this is my Battlefleet Gothic Armada 2 video from the What's Next event. For those of you who don't know, I was invited to the What's Next in Paris last week. I got to meet all the developers behind Battlefleet Gothic 2. I also got to see some of the other upcoming 40k games coming from Focus Studio and the partners, the other studios which are attached to Focus. If you want to go and check them out, the link is in the description. I have a playlist there. You can check out all the information I managed to gather and stuff like that. Really cool event. Okay, so let's jump in and let's just get started with Battlefleet Gothic. First things first, they sat us all down. There's only me and 3 other people. There's actually a lot of traffic problems on the day because it was snowing so much in Paris. So I had the luxury of, not being crowded with too many people, so it's pretty cool. And they sat us down and they started with the opening cinematic for Battlefleet Gothic 2. This was still a work in progress, but holy emperor, was it glorious. The cinematic itself basically was the story summing up like what's going on at this moment about, the Rift ripping apart the galaxy and all that kind of stuff. The cinematics you saw like Abaddon walking on Cadia. It was like Cadia and like all the statues were like space marines, and then 1 minute there was a flash and it's like all demons coming out of them and all that kind of stuff. It was amazing. I am a sucker for these Battlefleet Gothic cinematics as it is. I absolutely love them. I think they're one of the best story methods I've seen in a 40k game, and this one completely blew me away. And then it went into the game, and this was the first mission of the game, and lo and behold, what ship were we controlling? The Phalanx. The Phalanx was there in Cadia, and it was trying to get to a black fortress. The objective was to get the Phalanx to the black fortress, which was attacking Cadia, and basically destroy it. And this was really awesome. The Phalanx was going forward, and like all the Chaos ships were coming out the Phalanx, were trying to ram it and stuff, but the Phalanx is the Phalanx. He was just knocking them out the way. There's like boarding ships and like guns going off everywhere. All these ships are exploding. It's like a full Armada Chaos fleet trying to take down the Phalanx, and the Phalanx was just blowing everything away. It was so cool. And then it finally reached the Black Fortress, and it just completely annihilated. It just took it out. There was like this big like little starfall battle between the Phalanx and the Black Fortress. The Black Fortress went down, and that is when we open up to, do you know the cinematic from the trailer where you see the Black Fortress crashing into Cadia and blowing it all up? That is what this mission is from. That's what that cinematic's from. It's the Black Fortress being destroyed, and the Chaos managed to just put it into the orbit and crash it down onto the planet to cause as much damage as possible. You can probably imagine me at this time, being an Imperial Fist fan as it is, seeing the Phalanx, seeing the actual Phalanx in combat taking on Chaos and just gunning Chaos ships down and exploding them. It was so fun because the Chaos ships were like trying to ram it, and it was just like, nope, they're just hitting it and just instantly exploding and being taken out. And the Phalanx is just going forward like it gives no cares about your heresy, just like bang. It was just amazing. I just loved it. While all this was going on, of course, the developers were speaking to us about what's new with Battlefleet Gothic, and this is what I'm just going to go through now. So Battlefleet Gothic was a great success. It was a really big hit with the studio. It was a great success. This is why they've made Battlefleet Gothic 2. So when they come to make Battlefleet Gothic 2, they wanted to make it more bigger and better in every way possible. And one of the ways they're going to make it bigger and better is adding more factions to the game. This game's going to have 12 factions, so there's a huge amount of factions coming to this game. I did ask about the factions which were already in Battlefleet Gothic 1. Are they going to get anything new? And they did confirm that they will indeed be getting new ships added to the ships that they already have from the previous game. So it's not like those old factions are just going to be left out. They will be receiving new stuff to make them more appealing as well. They stated that battles are going to be twice as large as in the previous game, and the way they've achieved this is that they've reworked all of the game code and stuff like that, so you can manage bigger fleets. They shown like the new UI, which is really cool. Again, this was in a work in progress, but the way you can manage ships now is a lot more easier, whereas in the old game it was very hands-on micromanagement, and it was very hard to handle these bigger kind of fleets to take into battle. This has really put it all into a simple steps now, so you can select multiple ships and all do it from like easy from your UI. It's really cool how they've done it. I wish I could actually show it off, but we weren't allowed to film in there or anything like that. But the way they're planning to do this, it's really going to be easy to manage big fleets, and this is why we're going to see bigger battles, well, twice as big, they said, and it's going to be really effective. One of the battles they did show off was Necrons versus Mechanicus, and it was incredible. You had all these Mechanicus ships, the Necron ships. It was just amazing how all the fleets were going on. It's just like this massive huge battle just purging each other. It was glorious. They also stated in games that random stuff will happen. For example, void whales may just appear and start attacking your fleets, and you have to deal with them. There's objectives, like actually in the map, say there's like silos and stuff, or like stuff you can shoot and blow up, where if a ship goes past it, then that explosion from that object you've blown up will then cause damage to the said fleet that was next to it. All that kind of objectives and stuff, just which will make the game more tactical when you come to play people in game as well. Now, the battle which I was just discussing between the Necron and Mechanicus was like the big play battle, which they were showing off like all the new features, and there was a bit of talking about this. Like the Necron fleet as a whole is probably the most powerful fleet which is in the lore. So to mirror this in the game is that Necron fleets are very, very powerful, but they cost a lot of points. So with a Necron fleet, for example, you'll have a lot less ships than you will other fleets, but those ships that you take are very, very powerful ships. The Necron ships also could regen armor very, very fast. That was one of their bonuses, is that when they take damage, they can regen and repair very, very fast their ship. So if you think you're going to be taking them down very, very fast, it's probably not got to go down as you think, because the Necron technology, like I said, is probably one of the most powerful in the galaxy, if not the most powerful in the galaxy. Again, when all this was going on and the fleets were smashing against each other, he brought the big Necron battleship into the fray. Then it was really, really cool. You've probably seen this from the trailer. You know that big, massive Necron, like Half Moon-esque kind of ship? He brought that in, and that was just all the guns were going off, and it was just ripping AdMech ships apart. Then all of a sudden, the Arch Mechanicus showed up, and that was like the big battleship for the Mechanicus, and that got into the fight, and it was just scrapping, and that actually turned the tide then for the AdMech's favor. That came in, and that started doing a lot of damage to the Necron ships, and some of the Necron ships have started to, well, I say warp out. I know they don't really use warp travel, but you know, they started to get the hell out of that battle and start retreating. Now, at the end of the demonstration, there was chance for a couple of questions. I was actually saving most of my questions for, I actually had an interview with the developers themselves around 4:30, but what happened, there was a mix-up, and my interview got pushed to 5:30, but I couldn't make that interview because I had to get back to the airport that same night. So what the plan is now is that the developers are going to set up a Skype call with me sometime this week, and I'm going to do a one-to-one interview via Skype, and of course I'll put that on the channel and get all the big questions answered. But some of the questions which were put towards me that I picked out and I managed to just get in this slot, well, one of the main ones was multiplayer balance, how they got to handle multiplayer balance when it comes to Battlefleet Gothic Armada 2. They were aware that there was a huge balance issue in the first game, you know, with fleets and stuff and all that kind of stuff. So what they are planning now is that if you're either level 1 or level 10, you're going to be having the same tools when it comes to playing people online. Like in the old game, every ship has bonuses added towards it and stuff like that. In the next game, what they are planning to do is that you pick one ship which will have a bonus, and the rest of your fleet will follow that ship. So you have one big ship and the other ships are more or less all the same. So when you go to play, say for example, I'm level 1 and I'm going against a level 10 guy, his level 10 ships are all equipped in the old game. In the new game, he'll only have one ship, like I will at level 1. I'll have one ship all equipped, and me and him can still be on the same level, even though he's got more levels than me and are more experienced than me in game. It just evens the playing field out a little bit and makes it more fairer for lower level players playing high level players, or new players playing more experienced players when it comes to multiplayer games. And of course, me being a huge fan of the original campaign, I had to ask, what is the campaign going to be like for this next game? And of course, this is set in the Gathering Storm, so all the lore is changing. All the lore is new. It's all this new 8th edition lore. But the biggest thing about it, even though I'm a massive fan of the Gathering Storm and all the 8th edition stuff, the biggest thing is that this campaign is going to be a grand strategy campaign. So think Total War-esque, where you can command multiple fleets, you have to have resources, you have to protect those resources and that kind of stuff. It's not just like in the old game, you just had like you had to go there, then you had to go there. This is not. This is a grand strategy where you have to make sure your fleets are always moving. You have to protect what you've got. You have to push the enemies back. You have to take certain bits and all that kind of stuff. This is what I've been wanting for the 40k game. I know when people keep saying, oh, why don't they just make a Total War 40k? It won't really work like that. But with this now, they're basically taking the premise of the grand strategy from the Total War series and bringing it to their RTS. So I'm really, really excited and really looking forward to to how this is going to be looking, because me as like I said, me as someone who enjoyed the campaign, this is just going to blow me completely out the water if they get it right. Alright chaps, that's me done for another video. Hope I've passed some information on to you. Like I said, I'm still going to be doing that interview sometime, hopefully this week, so we can either get more information about this game. As soon as I get it, I'll put it on my channel and you can all enjoy it. If you got any questions, post them below. I'll do my best to answer them. If you got any questions maybe for this stream, which is, well, not stream, this Skype call which is being planned, then maybe I can put forward to them. I've got like a nice little list here already, but if you can suggest some better ones, then maybe I can add them in and give them to the developers and see how they answer. But this game for me was probably the best game I saw there. Just simply the fact that I'm in love with the Battlefleet Gothic series. It's one of my best games I've ever played, and this one has just exceeded all my expectations. I'm really, really looking forward to this game probably the most. It's probably my most anticipated 40k game in 2018. Right, that is me done. I hope you've enjoyed it like I just said. Thank you for watching, and I shall see you all very, very soon. See you chaps, and bye-bye.